Blacks and Asians don't get along. That's what you've been taught. Here's one reason why. In 1955, 5 Asian countries held a conference of African and Asian nations. They gathered representatives of 29 former Western colonies in Bandung, Indonesia. These countries all shared similar concerns. Now self-governed, they saw Western powers doing their best to sideline them on the international stage. They knew former colonizers would never treat them as equal partners. They had to build their own alliances and power. The Bandung Conference resulted in a declaration of economic and cultural cooperation, self-determination, and peaceful coexistence among participating nations. They refused to play into the Cold War and other Western power struggles, instead focusing on their own growth. It worked for a while. The US, wanting to cultivate a reputation for freedom, stayed largely uninvolved. Asian and African nations began rebuilding their industries suppressed under colonial rule. But then, as the Cold War heightened, Russia declared an anti-colonial stance, and JFK feared that the rebellious post-colonial leaders that had defied Europe would align with the USSR. Through direct CIA interference and political pressure, the US began to destabilize governments, installing leaders friendly to US military and economic goals. They also disseminated propaganda that painted regimes unaligned with the US as backwards, corrupt, and untrustworthy allies. 2 more Bandung conferences were held in 2005 and 2015. In them, Asian and African nations continued to develop stronger financial ties, including the declaration of a new Asian-African strategic partnership. And Western governments and companies continue to exert political, financial, and propaganda pressure on countries across post-colonial Asia and Africa.